just on the other side of the tracks. See the sign there? It's like they're setting up for a concert or something. They've got the barricades there. But today he says it's Maggie Rogers is performing. The Aragon Ballroom. This was built in the doors opened in 1926 for business, which means it was probably started construction in 1925, maybe 24. But pretty much all of the main bands played, you know, the jazz big bands, they played this place, most of them. 1930s, 1940s, 50s, and then you get into an era. You get into an era of the 60s. Now let me back up a little bit more. The outside, it's pretty on the outside. Concert venue. How many concert venues look like this? But the style of it is very interesting. You have the exterior, and then you have, which was a Spanish Baroque exterior, and the inside, the ballroom itself, you have that Mediterranean plaza look on the inside. But we're in the Uptown neighborhood, and this is north of Chicago, north side of Chicago. The theater itself has a 5,000 seat capacity, or person capacity, because they're not sitting for any of these concerts. It's operated today. It's operated by Live Nation, and it's been used from everything from an ice skating rink. It's occasionally a boxing venue, and it used to be, a couple years, it was the Cheetah Club, same Cheetah Club that was that you had in New York. But WGN started broadcasting out of here in 1927, similar to the Cotton Club started broadcasting in the 20s, and this is what gave it its national acclaim. And in the 60s, like I was saying, things changed. The music changed in the 60s, you know. So they accommodated. They went along and changed as well. In the 60s, you had the people like the Yardbirds, Jefferson Airplane, 1968. 1966 for the Yardbirds, Janis Joplin, pretty much everybody. Big Brother and the Holding Company, Howling Wolf, a little blues mixed in there. All the music that was around in the 60s. Lawrence Welk did a live show here in 1960. Quite the opposite of the rock that you know that's being played here today. Now in the 70s, it had another name. The 70s, it was wild. I think every metropolitan area was wild. You had the drug scene going on, and it's just wild, 70s and 80s. But in the 70s, they called it the Aragon Ballroom. Interestingly enough. And one such brawl happened in the lobby. The Blue Oyster Cult was performing that night, and there was a brawl in the lobby. Let's see, Nirvana, Sting, Beastie Boys, Black Sabbath, Carlos Santana. Now, Dick Jurgens performed here in 1950, and you can find an audio recording of that on YouTube. I think there might also be a Lawrence Welk video as well on YouTube as well. Run DMC, Metallica, Megadeth, Aerosmith, Iggy Pop, Slayer. Tommy Bolins died 2 weeks after performing here. Today, like I said, originally was more dance bands. You had the dance. It's got a big dance hall. There's nothing. I can't even show anything really on the inside today. They're doing construction. Looks like the windows are covered up. So all I have is the exterior today to show you. But if I get a chance to go in at some point, I'll come back here and rock. Now, today, they're mostly catering to the rock. All different kinds of rock. Funk, metal, punk, rock, grunge, sludge metal. I didn't know there was so many genres of rock. But now I know. Aragon Ballroom. So if you're around Chicago, and some of you I'm sure have been to a concert here who are watching this video, tell about your experience. Aragon Ballroom. And there's also 2 other theaters near here. Riviera and the Uptown Theater, which is like a couple blocks away, both of them. And I'll do vlogs on those as well at a later date. Let's get a closer look at some of the detail. Performers. And I would imagine these photos were taken of the show. During the show of these people. Unfortunately, I'm not heavy into rock, so I can't really tell you a lot about these people. Look at the detail on the building. And you can tell it's got that 20s with the little maiden. And they're doing a lot of construction on this, but check out the front. As you see, it needs some work. Stonework there. Masonry. But I imagine that's what they're doing, construction activity. There. Yeah, I know that guy. I've never been here though. Thanks for watching another episode.